On this episode of Restoring Ostuni, I try to design my dream kitchen with IKEA Italy and somehow get ghosted by IKEA Italy 3 times. Plus, my rental car turns into a full-blown anxiety attack in the streets of the medieval town known as Ostuni. So yeah, if you're planning a renovation in Italy, this is a good time to learn from my pain. Have you ever dreamt of turning your back on corporate America so you can move your family to Italy and then restore a centuries-old stone house in a dazzling medieval city? Well, I turned that dream into reality. My name is Jody, and this is Restoring Ostuni. Andiamo. If you remember back in episode 9, I made the bold decision to take back control of my kitchen. And honestly, I found a new appreciation for IKEA. To be honest, I never stepped foot in an IKEA store because, well, we don't have one local. But I digress. In IKEA, I found great kitchen options, beautiful design flexibility, installation that is surprisingly affordable in Italy, and I could get exactly what I wanted. And since I needed a kitchen installed before I moved in, this felt like a no-brainer. But then again, it's IKEA in Italy, and Italian bureaucracy is alive and well. So in the beginning, I did everything right. I visited the IKEA store in the US. Then I contacted IKEA Italy. I followed their instructions to email the English customer service, and I timed it perfectly. In fact, I emailed them February 1st, a whole month before my trip. And the response? Nothing. So I emailed them again 10 days later, thinking, well, maybe this one got lost. Still nothing. At this point, I realized the third time is not the charm in Italy. So I decided, fine, I'll do it myself. And I booked an appointment at the Bari IKEA the day after I arrived in Puglia. And I'm like, we'll make this work. So let's just start talking about after I got my flight into Bari. So I go to pick up my rental car because I'm going to be driving to Bari and I'm thinking I'm going to go and look at things. So I decided to get a rental car. And I'm going to Hertz, which, from working as a corporate executive, I have 1 billion points and 1 billion miles and all this stuff. So I'm President Circle. So guess what? They upgrade me and they give me a brand new shiny black SUV. What could go wrong? Well, guess what? Everything. Because you see, I'm going to Ostuni, especially near Central Storico. And basically it is a maze of narrow winding streets built before cars were invented. And Google Maps, oh yeah, that absolutely betrayed me. It sent me straight through the tight medieval roads while the car is beeping, flashing, chirping, and definitely judging me. I don't know what any of it means, but the one thing I do know is my hearing works perfectly. And then I get through and I feel safe, and it's like, oh crap, I now have to park this. And if you've never driven in Italy, let me tell you, they can fit a car into spaces I wouldn't attempt with a shopping cart. So I finally squeezed in barely, and I just sit there and I'm like, please still be here when I get back, and please don't have any dents. Because guess what? Even though I paid over 500 euros for insurance, somehow it still didn't cover everything. So at this point, I made a decision. The car was going back right after the appointment with IKEA. I had it for less than 24 hours, and it was still the most expensive rental car of my life. And of course, when I returned it, the guy inspected it like he was searching for forensic evidence. Lesson learned. If you're going to a medieval town, do not accept the upgrade. Okay, back to IKEA. So Hamilton and I arrive, and yes, he gets a Dodge cart. He's living his best life in Italy. And I go to the appointment in Italian, thank you very much. And of course, I get someone that doesn't speak English, which, okay, between the two of us, we pull out the house diagrams and pictures and we begin the universal language of pointing, guessing, hoping, using Google Translate. And finally tells me, I need professional measurements. And I'm like, I agree. I've been trying to get that for weeks. So guess what? I show her the printed emails. And this is a very important detail. Print everything and take it with you. Plot twist, the English customer service team never contacted the Bari store. Not once. But the Bari store does save the day. They schedule an English-speaking Geometra that week to come to my house and measure it. And guess what? He actually shows up on time. Yes. And unfortunately, Martino's team is literally demolishing the house as he comes in. And he speaks some English, about as good as I speak Italian. But guess what? Everything was saved because one of the workers speaks Spanish. So naturally, we communicate in Spanish because you guessed it, I'm fluent in Espanol. So Martino's worker would kind of translate it from Spanish to Italian, and it looked like everything was good. And as my new Geometra friend left, he told me, "You will hear back from us within 4 business days." And I look at Hamilton and I'm like, do you really believe we're going to hear back from them in 4 business days? He didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. And guess what? It didn't happen. But you know what? I have learned from all of these mistakes. So I go and I book a video call directly with the Bari store. And guess what? There's an English speaking option. So let me save you time. Do not contact that main IKEA email for English speaking blah, 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 because they'll never respond. Book directly with the store and ask for the English option. So I'm all excited. I have a call scheduled for the next day, and I get on the call, and my new best friend, Alessandra, says, "Oh, I don't have measurements. We need to redo the measurements." But again, don't forget, keep your stuff with you, because for some reason the Geometra didn't link them to my account, which is why nobody contacted me. But my preparation did save me because I had my numero de ordinari printed out. And suddenly, Alessandra was able to find my documents. So again, another takeaway. If you don't remember anything, remember some of these handy hints. Print everything and keep a folder, because guess what? Emails won't be read, systems won't connect, and nothing is centralized in Italy. And the thing is that the US is digital first and Italy is not. And it's not wrong. It's just different. So you have to do it their way. Believe me. Learn from my pain. Anyway, Alessandro sends me an email because after telling me she did not want my design notes, guess what? She wants my notes, so I dutifully send them to her. But you know what? I also noticed that the email she sent the request to me from was generic, which made me wonder, how would she get my information and how would I hear back from her? Spoiler alert. That was ghosting number 3. She flat out disappeared. But guess what? The new Jody understands how this works in Italy, so I made another appointment. You can't get rid of me that easy. Enter my newest bestest BFF, Basta. And now I am armed with exactly what I need. So we have the design appointment, and Basta says he will send the design later that day. And guess what? I did get the design, but then I almost threw up because guess what? The price was double what I expected. And it didn't include delivery or installation. And at this point, I am thinking, I thought being ghosted by IKEA was bad. How is this getting worse? So instead of spiraling, which is what I wanted to do, I took a pause and I reflected and looked at the design. And I realized I was trying to do too much. The design felt cramped and overbuilt. But then I saw why was it so expensive. The designer had added a waterfall countertop on every single cabinet. $4,000 just in waterfall edges of a walnut veneer countertop. Now, I'm not making fun of it for being veneer, but that's a lot of money for a countertop that I'm going to be replacing. And my guess is he just thought that Americans love waterfall countertops. So why not throw them on every single one? He just didn't do it exactly right. And I admit I have 2 waterfall countertops in my house, but that's not exactly how they do. And it definitely wouldn't have done it on a temporary countertop. But anyway, I decided to reset. I went back to basics. An L-shaped kitchen and a pantry. That's it. No more over-designing, no rushing. In fact, I took the countertops off. I will do them later on. Because guess what? Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is my kitchen. I'm going to get the basics done. When I move in, I can always add. So luckily, Basta saw my vision and streamlined my kitchen, and it's going to be half the cost and none of the stress. That's at least what I think right now. I mean, I don't know if I want to take a bet on that. Okay, so let's go into the progress of the house. Meanwhile, while I'm going through all this drama, Martino is flying through construction. He has stairs to the new terrace done. The new door is already, well, it's not, the door's not in, but the hole is, and that's going in. And the electrical and plumbing are underway. I have power, a new meter, and the water is in. Yay! So let me tell you, Martino is absolutely amazing. He has been sending me updates about, I would say every other day I get an update from him, which is absolutely wonderful. And if you follow my shorts, you're seeing every Friday I'm dropping one. He's been doing great. So Everything is not only on track, but I felt so comfortable that guess what? I started planning the official move for me to move over. Biggest challenge I have is getting the dogs over to Italy. I have two larger retired show dogs. Everybody else can go in cabin, but they're too big, so they have to fly cargo. So I scheduled them for Lufthansa in May. Because of cargo restrictions, you really can't do them in the summer. So it's a little bit of logistics, but I'm rolling the dice and hoping everything goes fine. And me and the dogs are going to be moving over in mid-May. Cats will make their way over as friends come to visit, or my son or husband, and they can bring me a welcome gift of one of my own cats. And yes, just for your own hilarity, I will be doing another one-way rental from Rome, this time in a huge ass van because I have to bring the dogs and all their junk over. What could go wrong? Pray for me. Well, that's it for this episode of Restoring Ostuni. Thanks for joining me on this wild pulley adventure, the dust, the discoveries, and everything in between. If you're loving the journey, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend dreaming of their own Italian escape. Until next time, arrivederci.